So we are getting ready to transform this into something grand. And yeah, although I would love it to be on a large scale, we use these things to go in our notebooks, and I'm getting ready to show you what this becomes. Something like this. Keep watching. Afternoon. Alright. So I wanted to share with you all, just to kind of keep you guys in the, keep everybody in the loop of what's going on, because I have not really shared too much homeschool related as far as resources and how we're doing things, but nothing has changed. If you've been following, nothing has changed really. It's pretty consistent. I have plans for this year to pick back up and continue sharing product wise. I've been doing a lot of talking, and that's just, you know, pretty much I'm vibing off of comments and questions and things like that. And yeah, the work is there. The work has been there. I just need to pull it out and share it. But while I was on this, I thought I would just kind of show you all something that I use. And this is a disc, and Earth Science. Now what I do with this, because this is basic, pretty much basic. I mean, you can use it for what it's worth. It's a color read trace, you know, what have you. It's landforms. We're studying landforms. We've been studying landforms, but we're doing a little more different things with landforms, and it kind of meshes well with our geography and things. And yeah, so we're kind of all over the place. We're studying countries, we're studying states simultaneously, a couple of states, because we're studying about different things. We're doing the 13 colonies. We are also coming into, well, we have been into First Americans and the western side of the United States, where they settled and things like that. So not really, I mean, it's a rhyme and reason for us, but if I were to teach it going, you know, state by state, country by country, so to speak, it would probably take us for a long time. And we have covered quite a bit, you know, even doing simultaneously. Last year we focused a lot on the Underground Railroad, went through some states there that led up to Canada. We did some work on Canada in our notebooking. So notebooking, when I use these pages from this disc, this curriculum, they either go into notebooking or they are part of a bigger project. We're making another type of book. And so this is a Mesa, Native Americans. Let me see, and I don't know, there's 30 of these landforms. I don't know that I'm going to use all of them, but let me show you some work from what we did. It is going to a book, so it is not filed. There's another one too somewhere. A couple of more projects on this. It's going into a all about Earth book. So here is, this was work on glaciers. So what they did was cut out the back, or paint the, I had them paint the background. Okay, we learned all about glaciers. This has to do with their science, their answers in Genesis, and a couple of other resources. And yeah, we learned all about glaciers and icebergs and things like that. And yeah, they went to town. So this is the actual glacier that came from here. So what's going to happen here is we're actually just going to cut out that I want them to do the same thing because I like the product. So the rest of it, I mean, if you have a child that's just, you know, wanting to learn how to trace and things like that, no, I can't see doing 30 pages of this because it's kind of, I don't know. But as you can see, there is the language arts portion is here where they had to narrate some things. So this really helped them to paint this background and follow, you know, kind of directions and pictures that they saw so that they can get a decent representation of glaciers and, you know, and such. So I'm just interested in seeing what, you know, how the Mesa will come up and what they will write up for Mesa. And I think actually this was actually a narration from the book. So yeah, but pretty good. You know, it like I said, it really helps them to remember. Working on the grammar and, you know, the handwriting, given the space, and it's not meant to be perfect, otherwise they would be doing lines, but it's still legible. And I think pretty much everybody, I don't even know who this is. Okay, I know who it is now. Let me show you another one. So here's another one. And this is actually one of the little kids because I wrote theirs up. I don't know who that is, but this is my 6-year-old. So same project, same instruction, but the product, they all turned out differently, which is so neat. I mean, the basic idea, concept. There we go. Got a little bit of land there. Because if I were to give it to them and tell them to do it, they would pretty much take the paper, probably paint one color, and yeah. So this is guided. It's, you know, we do guide it for our lesson books. So yeah, that's my 5-year-old. This is another one of the twins. So yeah, that's how they came out. But yeah, product. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen here. I already have ideas for this. I don't know that we'll put any, because they want to do like when we worked on Egypt. They're still building ancient Egypt. Believe it or not, they're still working on it. And it's going to, you know, it's not a project that we do overnight. We did this with the older kids. And so I'm going to have to go down and because that's downstairs, show you some of the stuff that's out and easily accessible. But they're little projects, so they, you know, get stuff and build stuff, tinker and whatever. They want to do a Native American village, so I think we'll be building. I know we're doing totem poles. Now, spoiler alert, I have all the stuff ready. I've been saving stuff because that's one I did with the older kids. Somebody had that project and the whole family helped. So I will come back and kind of share some, you know, pictures and things of what we did there and Instagram. But teepees and longhouses and, you know, things like that. I want this to be, it's their project and they want to build it how they see. It's not anything perfect. And I think that's, you know, something very important for you all to understand, that even though we may do things, we may be crafty, you may not be crafty, I don't know. You know, I know everybody's not crafty. But the thing is, the experience is more or less the importance of it. Not so much the final product being perfect. Perfect is whatever you make of it. So yeah, you know, I have to encourage them a lot to do that. So let's see. Colonies, I think. Let's see, I know there's something about cliffs. I think I have cliffs in here. Yeah, I know I do. But like I said, I'm not using all of these. It's just important ones. We have mountains, we have volcanoes, and once the book is all together, I will share that. So this starts with the beach. So I don't know what we may do with the beach. They know what a beach is. but who knows, I may have some, you know, art project with that. We may do some language arts. You know, this may be a paper right about the beach. They've not gone to the beach, but you know, just having the art portion and then letting them do that and then say, hey, let's write something about it. So you give them the fun stuff first, you know, let them paint and watercolor, whatever, and then write some little work. You know, that makes it all just, there's your grammar, language arts, and your spelling right there. And putting these things in a book, that makes it worthwhile. You know, otherwise I wouldn't spend time printing any of this. But let's see, I'm doing the same thing. Okay, beach, butte, oh, what else, canyon. I don't know if I'm gonna use, I might use the canyon. Cave, I have an idea for the cave. There's the cliff. Dune. That's nice. We could actually do that for Egypt, because we still have some work. And the thing, the way our books work, a lot of times I don't put the stuff together, I file it, because there's a certain way I want the stuff put in the book. And sometimes I count out extra pages just on purpose and just leave them blank and then skip it and go on to the next thing. But when I designed this geography curriculum, it was intended to every year or so we can cycle back and expand it. So same thing about the projects. We may dismantle some of the pieces and things and put it away, but then they can come back and build up some more as they get more skilled and learn some more things. So fault, fjord, tiger, glacier. There's the glacier page, and I don't know, I think I know I saved the glacier page. I think that for this part, I think that might just be like the heading, the cover, or I may stick it on the back. I don't know, but I think I did save that. So here's iceberg. I don't know, I can't remember. We did iceberg yet. Island, nice one for Hawaii. Lakes, landforms in general. Mountain, peninsula we have done. We've done peninsula for Spain. And like I said, all of them are not done in the fashion I just showed you with the write-up. Some of them just go into their interactive notebook, because in their book it tells me the landforms to use. You know, whether we're looking at it in a book. And in fact, I did go to the library and check out a whole bunch of landform books, but they're able to identify pretty much all of them. And, because it tells me, you know, we kind of talk about it, I might, just to give them something to color while I'm reading whatever book, because usually I'm reading some type of book on that country or excuse me, or state, so I need them to do something, so I'll just give them this. Reef, river, sandbar, sea arch, beautiful. Shoreline, stalagmites, which we did a great little deal. Valley, there's a volcano. Waterfall, that will be lovely for the Amazon, South America, and waves. And interestingly enough, they learned so much about landforms on our TV screensaver I sit in my room, and I just love to watch the screensaver. And I can identify so many of the pictures. They're beautiful. So yeah, we're not actually watching TV, we're just looking at the screensaver and learning. So anywho, like I said, I just, you know, don't want to go too long, but just keep you guys in the loop of what's going on. And we are still using Galloping the Globe as well. And I'm looking beside me. It's down here. It's right beside me. I'm looking. Yeah, I see it. But there's that one. And I have shared these several times. Oh, yeah. several times over. And I showed you guys, and I said that anybody can, you know, this is a virtual co-op that I put together using this. And so stuff in here. Basically, it comes with your printables. This is a whole, you guys, if you don't know and you're into like unit study type, this is a whole, you know, you get a whole everything. It's not just geography. You get Bible, history, science, literature, maps, flags, recipes, games, and activities. So that's like it's a whole curriculum in one. And it's very thorough. I mean, it's laid out. And you get a CD-ROM in here. And all kinds of good. But it kind of, you know, tells you what to do. Like the language arts portion is talking about the preamble. You know, you can use this to supplement. It's not, you know, complete grammar and spelling, but you can supplement things. You pull out things that, you know, and that's what I said. I take things like this. These are resources. I take things like this and make them my own. I don't stick with this just because that's what's in here. Like these pages, it has nothing to do with this. I just happen to have them, and I thought, you know what? I can use these as well, because the only thing that's in here are basic maps. You get the maps, and you get like crossword puzzles. You get the flags. But I needed a little more than that, because they don't really they'll do the crossword puzzles. You know, they like them. I use them for logic, but they're not really enough to make them, you know, it's not enough. We need a little more. And so this has to do with time zone. There's a flag, and we have colored so many flags for so many projects. There's like some of those I have already ready, because I kind of look ahead, see what I need. This is actually from the other book. That's Egypt, but you get these things where they're on the CD that comes with it, and print them out. And then the you know, I will update you guys on like the projects and stuff in here in their notebooks, how they go. But just to give you a quick glance, like Maine, sorry about that, this is Maine, and there's Maine. It gives you a little bio, so you can use some of this for copy work or for dictation, or you know, whatever. Maine is probably best known for its beautiful rugged shoreline featuring jagged rocks and cliffs, thousands of bays and inlets. So, you know, there's rivers, all kinds of stuff. It's talking about, what is that guy, Paul Bunyan? We're doing some stuff on Paul Bunyan, you know. It gives you some facts. It gives you some references here. Maybe I should stand up. I don't know how this is coming out. Sorry, y'all. But there you go. Geography. Okay, and it tells you, gives you the reference. If you don't have, the thing about this book is you get a lot of references, so you don't have to have all the books and resources that it lists. Just use what you have. If you don't have one, you know, you can check out the lighthouses. We're on lighthouses again. Beacons of light. We don't have this, but we have a couple of other ones. So we're not using that. Milton Bradley. Everybody knows Milton Bradley, but there's a fun fact that you might not know about Milton Bradley. And then our nature, we're doing the bird, so yeah, you'll get the bird in here, but I use my own bird pages. Gemstone, lobster, we have something on lobster, so I was like, let me bring the lobster in here. Blueberries, poems. You can usually find this stuff online. I did find the lighthouse online, Longfellow. So, and we have read Birdie's Lighthouse, so we own that. So like I said, you just pick and choose. You don't have to use everything. Here's the preamble. It says, write a story about being captain of a ship. Write a story about being a lighthouse keeper. Copy all the, or part of the poem by Longfellow. So, the Song of Hiawatha, we are moving into that. And yeah. Yep. So it's a lot of stuff. Character on the page. I don't know if there's a recipe in here. There's some activities in here. Label the Atlantic Ocean. Prepare a meal from Eat Your Way. Okay. Make a well mobile. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. That's why I like this thing. But you know, if you want to know more, and they're not just this, I go beyond the book because there's also a visual part of it. We might watch movies, videos, what have you, on the subject, as well as reading whatever books. We may have some historical fiction that, you know, besides you know, what's listed in that book. So I try to pay attention to books that I buy and try to make sure that I can kind of identify where some of these places are right off. If I know the setting right off, that really helps. Sometimes they're just based on that. But anywho, let me get off of here. I don't mean to sound rambling. I just, again, wanted to share what I was doing. So there are my copies, and I don't know what else. I have prepped the rest of the stuff. There's Vermont. So yeah, they'll be doing some stuff on this. Massachusetts. Right, well. And so again, because I have all of these, I use them. No, this is not anybody else's recommendation. It's because I have this curriculum, and I'm just so, again, so grateful to have purchased. And my bird pages. So we have a ton of these saved up, and I just saved them up and not started the state book because we actually, and this will be separate. We actually started with Texas. And I still have to, all the stuff is not even in the book because I wanted to figure out if I wanted to start with Texas or start with the 13 colonies. And I think because we started with Texas, I'm just going to go ahead and put Texas in the book first. And, you know, because that's our history. Just start off that way. It didn't have to be any order. Not even worry about it. And then whatever comes later, you know, we can add it to the back of the book. But yeah, we did quite a bit, including going to the Alamo, going to the, you know, to the Texas Ranger Museum. So it's just so much stuff. And you know, the kids write stuff about, you know, their experience at the Alamo, and you know, all kinds of stuff. I shared a couple of books. So yeah, so many things that we can do. And so these bird and flower pictures, of course, lead to nature studies and things like that. So it's interesting. These are not just for coloring. What's going to happen with them? You know, they do all sorts of things with them. They may just be painted. They may be watercolored. They may be done, you know, the way we did the this piece. I just, like I said, I let them do what they want to do. I try to give them ideas to make it different than just, you know, just basic. But sometimes it takes us, it's like a project, you know, it may take 2 days. So don't think that we just, this is what we do and you have to, you know, be this detailed. If it takes 2 days, you might want to paint the background. Like if you're painting the background, some projects you have to paint the background, let it dry, and then just keep it moving. So do the next part the next day, you know, or you know, paint this part, paint your background, let it all dry, do something else, come back to it later on and assemble it. Sometimes we don't get to, we get tired because we were moved on to other things. So yeah, you know, these little projects usually, something like this could easily take an hour just because my kids love to paint. So even though we get a good lesson out of it, I try not to do too many like this. But this seems to work for them. It really captures their attention. And yeah. So anywho, like I said, I'm going to get out of here. Let me know how you do. science, literature, geography. If you do anything like this, unit studies, lesson books, anything, let me know. Let us know in the comments. If this was helpful, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. Tell me that, because I just need to know. You guys, I want to know what you're interested in, so I can pick back up on these vlogs. And hopefully I'm not boring you, but yeah, I don't want to leave you guys out of the loop too long thinking that we're not over here doing anything, when actually we are. We are working hard. Very, very hard. So, yeah, and all this stuff in here is supposed to be in somebody's notebook somewhere. So, yeah, I need to get on these notebooks, guys. But lastly, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Peace out.